Hey guys, so today I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite TV shows of all time, and at first I had 10 and then I started adding more, so now I think I have like 14, 13, I don't know. But yeah, I think the camera is a little crooked. Ugh. There we go. Okay, so my number one, okay, these are like not in order, but this is like my absolute number one. And it's 2 TV shows, but like I just, you know. Okay, so it's Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legends of Korra, and I count them as one because they're equally as good, and I like can't pick one because like they're my favorite. I grew up watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. That was like one of my favorite things to do, was watch that TV show. I remember I used to wake up my dad really early in the morning and he would watch it with me because he liked that they used like martial arts in it, because he's like a martial arts teacher. It was a very fond memory of mine, and that was like my favorite show. I remember my best friend and I used to talk about it all the time, but we would do it in secret because we thought people would think we were weird for talking about this show because we were like too old for it, because we were in like the 8th grade. It was like the best TV show ever. But yeah, I've watched that since I was a kid, and I've seen all the episodes so many times. I think I know all the words to all the episodes. And then I, this year, watched The Legend of Korra, and I remember I didn't watch it when it was on TV because I was like, that's stupid, I'm not gonna watch that. Well, I was so wrong. I watched it this year, and I think I might even like it more than Avatar. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just gonna say that. I loved the setting. It takes place in the 1920s, and if you don't know what Avatar: The Last Airbender is about, it's about, basically there's like 4 nations, and they all they're like elemental. It's not magic, but they can control the elements. So there's the Fire Nation, the Water Nation, the Earth Nation, and the Air Nation. And The Last Airbender, in case you couldn't guess, is about how the Fire Nation started a war on all of the world. And they took out all of the airbenders except for one. And that is Aang, and he's the last airbender. He's also the Avatar, and the Avatar can control all 4 elements. And he like the whole show, like they're trying to defeat the Fire Nation and win the war, and it's super cool. And so Korra is the sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it's about the Avatar right after Aang, because Aang obviously dies. Everybody dies at some point. It's right after Aang, and she is a waterbender, and I don't know, but she is trained by Aang's son, which is super cool. And there's only 4 seasons, and I wish there were more. And season 1 is my favorite. That's all I'm gonna say. My next favorite TV show is an anime, and it's the only anime I've ever watched, and it's my favorite. I don't think anything could ever top it because it's so different from everything else, and that is Your Lie in April. I watch this show because my best friend, Aiden, if you're watching this, buddy, what's up? He was talking about the show and that it was the best thing ever, so then I watched it, and oh my god, the show is so sad. I'm not even gonna tell you what it's about because it's so sad and I will probably spoil you. So yeah, just know that it's really sad, and it's kind of like a contemporary anime story, and the art style is so pretty because there's cherry blossoms always falling from the sky, and it's so beautiful, and it's on Netflix if you want to watch it, so get on it. My next favorite show is an obvious. That is Gilmore Girls. It's like everybody's favorite TV show ever. It's the best. I'm on Team Jess, and nothing will ever change me. Well, that's the right team. Yeah, I'm not going to give you synopsises about all of these. Or am I? I don't know. But anyway, I could explain Gilmore Girls quickly. It's about a single mother, and she gets pregnant at 16 years old. Her family was super rich, and she was like a trust fund baby. And she gets pregnant at 16 years old, and her family kind of, they don't like shun her, but she's just like, I don't want to be a part of you. She like hated being rich and like hated being in that like society. Like she hated cotillions, like all that stuff. So she left with her daughter, and it's like the story takes place when her daughter's 16 years old. And so yeah, so she has to go back to her mother and ask her for money to send her daughter to school, and that's how the whole show starts, and it's really great, and the dialogue is super witty, and all the characters are super lovable. It takes place in a small town. It's everything you've ever wanted. It's so good. The next show that is my favorite is Once Upon a Time. And Once Upon a Time, as a Disney fan and as a fairy tale person in general, that's an obvious why I love this show so much. I've watched it from the beginning on Netflix. I didn't watch it when I first started, like however many years ago that was. But I like watched it on Netflix. I finally am caught up. I still have to watch the episode that was on the other day, which is like, I think it's the one before the winter finale. I don't know. But there was a dragon on one of the recent episodes, and I love dragons, and it's so cool. But yeah, basically, it's about this town. Well, there's like a whole backstory, but there's a town, and they're all like fairy tale characters, and they like forgot that they were fairy tale characters, and there's like Snow White, and the prince, and Belle, and the beast, and Rumpelstiltskin, and Peter Pan, and there's just all of these things, but it's like a fairy tale with a twist. It's so cool. And there's also the Wizard of Oz, which was pretty cool too. But yeah, I love this show. It's my favorite. My next favorite show is one that, again, I watched on Netflix and got obsessed with it, and that's Grey's Anatomy. I remember my mom used to watch Grey's Anatomy when I was really little, and I just remember her always crying, and I was like, oh my god, I'm never gonna watch this show. And then one day, I don't even know what compelled me to do it, but I started watching it, and I watched all 11 seasons in 3 months. And it was great. It was horrible because I cried so much, but it was really great. And I'm all caught up, and I don't even really, like, it was one of my favorite shows, like, back in the beginning, but now I don't like any of the characters. Like, once Christina left, that was it. I don't care about the show anymore. It's the worst. I hate all of the characters. And every season, a new character from the original cast. There was only like 4 left. Every season, another one goes. And I'm just like, I don't even like Meredith. Why do I watch this show anymore? I don't know. But yeah, it's about a hospital, and they're all doctors, and they fix people. That's basically what the show is about. If you don't know what Grey's Anatomy is about, you're living under a rock. The next show is a new show, and there's not even a complete full season yet, but it's so good, and that is This Is Us. It's on NBC, and I think Mandy Moore created it. She's also in it, and Jess from Gilmore Girls is in it, and it's so good. And then the girl who plays Peggy in Hamilton, her dad is in it, and like, there's so many great actors. It's such a good storyline. I cry in every episode. It's relatable, it's sad, it's family oriented, and it's so good. I'm not even gonna explain it because I don't know how to, but it is A+. Another favorite show of mine, it's like the only like funny show. Well, not the only funny show, but one of the only funny shows on this list, and that is New Girl. I again watched New Girl on Netflix. I binge watched like the first 4 seasons, I think, and then I got caught up. But New Girl is like one of my favorite shows. It's so funny. Winston is my favorite, and I don't even know what the show is about. It's literally just about like a bunch of people that live in the same house, but it's like, and Zoey Deschanel's in it, and she's hilarious. But Winston is my favorite. I love his bird shirts. They make me laugh. Winston is the best. Moving on. My next favorite show, I watched on the first season on Netflix. I have not been keeping up with the second season, but that is Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And I started watching this show because my friend told me to. And it's like a musical. It's so cool. It's about this girl who lives in New York, and she was in love with this boy who she met at like a summer camp, and his name was Josh. And then she finds Josh in New York City. She's like a really like famous, her name is Rebecca Bunch. Like, that's a pretty cool name. But she's a lawyer in New York City. And then she runs into Josh, and then she follows him back to California, and she's like the crazy ex-girlfriend. And it's a musical. There are musical numbers in the show, and it's so cool. And the guy, whoa, words. But I totally relate to Paula. Like, the only fictional character that I identify with is Paula, and nobody else. I am Paula. But it's a really great show. It's really funny, and I love it so much. The next show, throwing it back a little bit, is Drake and Josh. If you don't love Drake and Josh, I don't know who you are. 2007 was like the best year for TV. Like, Drake and Josh is the best Nickelodeon show that ever happened besides SpongeBob. But I know every word to every episode of Drake and Josh. And I've seen every episode like 200 times. It's like my favorite show ever. And I'm really mad that they stopped it because I don't even know why they would. But it's hilarious. And you got Drake Bell and Josh Peck. And Josh Peck is hilarious. Josh Peck is so hot now. But yeah, so good. Drake and Josh. If you didn't like Drake and Josh, I don't like you. Another show that I'm going to throw back is Zoey 101. Zoey 101, I remember, was my favorite show when I was in elementary school because I used to talk about it on the playground with all of my little kitty friends at the time. I used to watch, I remember the episode when Chase had a girlfriend, and it was that really annoying girl who played Trina on Victorious, whoever that actress is. She's super annoying. But she was Chase's girlfriend, and I remember when he broke up with his girlfriend for Zoey, and I remember that was like all the gossip on the playground that day. But that show was everything, and my favorite episode, even though it is so sad, is the one where Chase's grandma dies. It's the best. I don't know if like my favorite TV shows tells you anything about myself, but I hope you learned something new today. I was feeling a little sassy in this video. I don't know why, but I love these TV shows. They're the best, and you should go watch all of them if you haven't watched any of them. Or all, I don't even know. Even if you have watched them, go watch them again because they're the best. Please subscribe to my channel if you guys haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below and tell me about all your favorite TV shows. And I will see you in the next one.